they take that out on other people, and find something that they can attack, and so it's sad in that way to see what it's turned into. I remember seeing something on David Bowie saying, years ago, where he said that the internet and social media is going to be like the most amazing thing, but it's also going to be the scariest thing ever. And he was not wrong.
It was almost like he called Miss Cleo and got the future.
Yes.
Because it really is just a place, it's a playground now where people can say whatever they want.
Yes.
Including Anita Baker.
You had to do that, huh?
Now, we had this interview planned way before Miss Anita ventured over to Twitter. But thank God you were able to come here today while she was. You're an icon in R&B, but you're now in an R&B.
Nice. Good word.
Good Morning America called it R&B. I was looking on
R&B.
TV and they said that you're in the middle of an R&B with Anita Baker. Now, this is the craziest thing. I saw online, let me set it up. I was on Facebook perusing seeing what my family was doing, and I saw a post that said, the first post was, it wasn't from Anita, it was something about you guys were on tour together and there were technical difficulties which prevented you from going on stage. And so she decided, or it was decided, that she would go on and you would not go on. The idea that, one, you're not a co-headliner is crazy to somebody like me because you're both iconic. And in fact, I did my research. You got far more awards than she does, and far more hits. But when I looked at that, I didn't understand why it wasn't a co-headliner situation. And then I also didn't understand how it was that you could just be removed when we all know your fans are going to be in the audience too.
Well, I mean, that was a complicated evening. First of all, I have no problem being a support act for Anita Baker. I have that much love and respect for her art, and it was her show. So I have no issue with that. And I think that I was looking as forward to watch Anita every night as well, because I love her as a writer and as an artist. It's a beautiful experience. In terms of what happened that night, it was really, things got out of hand because there was a technical issue in the terms of, like, there was a video wall, this big video wall that Anita uses every night. It wasn't working, and they spent the whole day trying to get it together. We arrived there probably at 12 noon, ready to go. And by time it was time to go on the show, 7 o'clock, show was supposed to start at 7, it wasn't fixed. And there was a panic going on. We said, we got to get this thing fixed. And so we had to wait. We didn't even get on stage to even do a sound check. We did a line check. And I know this all sounds like talking and stuff, but we did our line check around 7:30, because they held everybody outside, said we need a little bit more time. And so we did the line check and we were ready to go. But they kept on working on this video wall. And that video wall wasn't fixed. So we tried to go on while they could maybe work on it while we were on stage, but no, we want to start the whole show right. So ultimately, all the time was lost. By the time the realization came that it wasn't going to be fixed, it was 9 o'clock.
And the audience is waiting this whole time?
The audience is sitting out there probably from 7:30, 7:45. They were sitting all this time.
But why couldn't they fix this wall while you were performing? What, did it require a lot of noise?
I would have been fine. I would have taken the noise, but that wasn't an option. So
wait, they didn't even come to you and say, we're going to go ahead and work on this. You have the option to go out.
We offered that.
Really?
We offered, like, we'll go on stage, we'll perform, and you can do it while we're there. But that wasn't an option. So basically, and I'm not there. Wanted the show to look right, and to be fair, no one wants any people working on something while you're on stage, but in order to get the show going, because people were ready to go. But to be fair, wanted to put on a good show. And so time just ran out. By time, came to the realization that wasn't going to be fixed, it was 9 o'clock. So that decision had to be made. Are we going to do an extra long show? I go up and then she goes up. She won't go on till 10:30 or so. And that wasn't an option. And it was decided, I was asked, told, you you don't have to play tonight. You're not going to play tonight.
Who told you that?
Someone that was, I can't, either some representative of the whole thing, the promoters or something came.
But I mean, she didn't come over to your room and say, Kenny, I'm having a problem with my wall tonight. I really want to respect your set. I know you're willing to go out there. I'll tell the fans, because I know she didn't even tell the fans. They sent a man out there to do that.
Well,
she didn't come over and give you the courtesy of
we weren't sitting in the room talking to each other about everything as was going on. We definitely had talked a little bit earlier, and she kind of had said, sorry for all this, all the setbacks, because there were a lot of setbacks. It wasn't just the video wall. There were other things that were setbacks as well. It was the first night starting again after we hadn't started in a while. So sometimes there's those kind of technical things that you just can't do anything about. And it was a lot of them. But nevertheless, we went on, we were ready to go. And so it came to a point to where that decision had to be made where she was going to go on or not. I thought that it was a decision that I was okay with the decision. I understood it. I didn't have a problem with it. The issue was, for me, the only reason why I ultimately posted something because people were booing, and after they announced that I wasn't coming on, then people were saying,
the fans were pissed.
They were pissed,
yeah.
And then there were DMs coming and saying, Babyface is a no-show, and I didn't want that to be the story, so I didn't want to put it, I just tried to make an announcement to at least say, hey, couldn't go on tonight for technical difficulties. I was asked not to go on, and that was...
I thought your announcement had a lot of class. Even in right now how you're describing it, I'm telling you, me, you, and Ernest will get together. I'm going to teach you shade because you said something that I'm going to say what you said. You said you had no problem being an opening act or an opener for Anita Baker. You're not an opener, an opening artist. Mm-hmm. You know that, but you're saying that out of respect for somebody who is a legend. I'm
doing it not just out of respect, because, look, she has great music and I have music as well. She's an artist that I love. And whether we share the stage together, if I go first, that's not a problem for me. And you want to call me an opener, that's not a problem, because we're sharing music. Everybody's getting to hear that music that evening. So it doesn't matter to me. You can say support, opener, I don't care. My love and respect for her is to the extent that, where she is and what she's done in her career and how she too has touched people with her music. I'm going to support that. That's just who I am. And so, in all reality, for everything to have gone as crazy as it did, that was never my intention to ever think that it would, because that's not my heart. I can't believe it rolled out the way that it rolled out, but hence there's social media. And that's what happens at this point.
But you're saying you didn't have a problem opening for her, being an opening act. Do you think she had a problem with you potentially, or even in your mind thinking of being a co-headliner? Do you think she would have a problem with you being
Look, it wasn't a co-headliner thing to begin with. It was her show.
Okay.
And she asked me to join her show.
But because you're so iconic, it would have been great to weave you into the show, like where you could have been playing music while it's Sweet Love, and it could have been something for the fans to really...
I mean, look, those are all things that, hindsight, you can look at it that way. Bottom line is that, no question, it was the Anita Baker show. She, as a matter of fact, like the first dates that she did, I wasn't really part of her first date. She did, I think she played in Hollywood, Florida. And there were 2 dates that I wasn't on those shows. I was never supposed to be a part of those shows. And some people think that I was supposed to be there, but I was never part of the show. So it was a Anita Baker show from the get-go, and she asked me to join her. And that's what I did. She asked me to join as a support act. What do you call it? Opener, support, whatever you want to call it. That's what I came on there as. I did not come on there with the intention that I'm a co-headliner. It was her show. That's clear, and I have no problem with that.
Well, okay, so one of the fans went online and said, with all respect, did you call the Babyface a support act? Because she went on and said that she's found Twitter. I don't know who's doing her or Dionne Warwick's Twitter, but they have found Twitter. And our aunties have just lost their mind. This is what she said on Twitter. She said, "Dearest one, anytime somebody started a text, a tweet, or anything with dearest one, that's them basically small girl in you. That's how I get it. But anyway, dearest one, you are not privy to the contracts. Yes, Babyface is a special guest support act on my tour. This false narrative of a co-headliner is creating unrealistic expectations and aggression from his fans towards me. He should tell you guys the truth." Now, one, I went and looked on Twitter. I didn't see you gaslighting fans. I didn't see you releasing anything that would make people want to go and attack Miss Baker. And I've never heard of Babyface fans being internet terrorists. So this was news to me. Did you see that tweet?
Yes.
What did you think about it?
I was saddened that that one could think that I could control fans, or that even these people that are even saying these things to her are my fans to begin with. I don't know them. I don't know them personally. And usually if someone's coming with something negative, I don't pay attention to them. I don't give them air. I don't engage with them, because, if you start the fire, it's just going to go worse. If you deal with ugly, it gets uglier. So.
Well, Auntie Baker found her Twitter again and said, "Out of kindness and community, you gift them $200,000 worth of production that you pay for, and still they complain and hold up the show and slander and villainize your name to social media, blogs, and press. Hashtag massa implantation." Who is she talking about?
I don't know that one at